I've also been watching Kaiju number 8. I feel like this show is a little underrated. I know it is overall a popular show, and I see it pop up in my feed, whether it's on Google News or on YouTube and all that. But I feel like it's not being as talked about like Jujutsu Kaisen or Demon Slayer. I feel like it's not at that level. But for me, Kaiju number 8 is probably another of my newest favorite anime. Dandan is still my number 1 at this moment. But Kaiju number 8 is such a great show. The only thing that detracts me from the show a little bit sometimes is the small comedic moments from Kafka, our main character, where throughout the show, Kafka is such a strong character in terms of will and morals and loyalty, friendship, discipline. I really enjoy how they've written this character. He's a great lead for the show. And when he transforms into Kaiju number 8, he just kicks ass. I mean, it's really cool. It's reminiscent in many ways of One Punch Man in terms of his strength and how he kind of just like annihilates the villains. Not as strong, but still like is a pretty powerful character, pretty OP, I think. But that being said, every now and then you have these moments with Kafka where he just wimps out and then he's like whining and all that. And I get it. It's just like a comedic trope. But that's not to say that, I mean, this show is amazing. This show for me is so heartwarming in many ways in terms of its themes about resilience and friendship. Again, like the character loyalty. It's really sweet show in many ways. The action's great too, very much shonen style action. There's some dark moments as well, but there's a lot of levity also. And Kafka as a character, I really do enjoy this protagonist. And I think visually Kaiju number 8, the transformation is really cool. Very reminiscent of like Ultraman back in the day, mixed with like Godzilla. Obviously they're fighting creatures, kaijus, right? So there's definitely, you notice the influences there. But that being said, I mean, I've already watched the only seasons we have so far, season 1 and 2 of Kaiju number 8, and I really enjoy it. It's I really look forward to the series, and like Dandadan season 2's cliffhanger, this season 2 of Kaiju number 8 also left us on a cliffhanger. I mean, literally we're like in the middle of an action, like a battle scene, and you know, without giving any detail for those who haven't watched Kaiju number 8, we're left basically in the middle of like a battle. And so, you know, and stakes are extremely high right now. And we're left to wonder what's going to how are things going to turn out next, right? And now we just have to wait until season 3 to see how this battle ends. And it's super high stakes without giving too much detail. But yeah, I'm curious to see how it goes. And also the great thing about this show is the way, not only the main character's development, but is the supporting cast. I mean, we have, I think her name is Kikaru, if I'm not mistaken. She's a really badass girl. And for those who don't know what Kaiju number 8 is, basically in Kaiju number 8, you know, Japan is, I think it's only Japan, if I'm not mistaken, is always getting attacked by kaijus or big monsters like Godzilla type monsters. And so Japan has developed a whole organization basically called the Defense Force to combat, you know, these kaijus. And so the Defense Force, every member of the Defense Force or, you know, soldier of the Defense Force has like a level basically of potential, of strength and skill and abilities and all that stuff. And so they have like a cap, literally like a level up to where they could, how strong they could get. And our protagonist, turns out, I don't want to give too much detail, but I don't think this is a major spoiler, but just in case, if you want to hear a little bit more about this character and the setup, then, you know, skip a little bit ahead. But basically Kafka, our main character, long story short, he ends up joining the Defense Force, which is a childhood dream of his, but he turns out to have a very weak level of potential or strength or whatever. But then he gets infected by this kaiju, And so he becomes like a human kaiju hybrid, but he's still in control. So it's kind of reminiscent also of Parasite, if any of you have watched that anime or read the manga in some ways. And so that's why he's able to transform into this kaiju, because he's basically, it's kind of like a symbiotic relationship. He has basically, like, he's been synced or whatever, fused with this kaiju, or this kaiju Parasite has fused with him. That's all to say that in this world, you know, everybody has their levels and all that. And so throughout the show, you actually get different, you know, perspectives from our supporting cast. Like several of the characters, they get some, not everyone, but a good amount of the characters get like their own like focus or spotlight, and sometimes their own episode that focuses on them and kind of shows who they are, their motivation and all that. So we're getting fed this throughout the show, and then we get moments of struggle from a lot of them. And the show in many ways is very inspirational. I feel like in some ways similar to Hero Academia, where, you know, we have our main character that doesn't have any powers, but there's resilience where he pushes through, and of course he gets abilities from All Might, and then he's able to become a hero. But anyways, the point is that in a similar vein, in Kaiju number 8, we get a lot of character development from our supporting cast, and we learn about their backstories. And so that's why I say this show really is about resilience in a lot of ways. And then you see the camaraderie between the characters, and that's one of the big things that I really enjoy about the show is those relationships, how they develop, the loyalty they have between their squad, how they look out for each other, and how some of the characters, some of their motivations is really just for each other. And that's something special for me. I feel like Kaiju number 8 does such a great job of that, and that's why I can't wait until season 3 of Kaiju number 8 comes out already. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode of Pop Pulse and you'd like to stay up to date on the latest news on anime, gaming, and comic book, TV, and movie adaptations, sign up for a free and easy to read newsletter, Pop Pulse Digest. And to watch more, check out this next video.